Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here as the Seattle Seahawks defeat the Arizona Cardinals, but unfortunately, they have been eliminated from playoff contention and will not live to see their season last another week. Welcome into this edition of Seahawks Today as we react to the performance that we just saw and look back at the season that was. Seattle finishes with a winning record, 9-8, the same record that they had a season ago, but this time on the outside looking in, not getting in the playoffs. They got the win over Arizona, but the Chicago Bears did not beat the Green Bay Packers. So the Green Bay Packers get in. They hold the final spot. They will take on the Dallas Cowboys. The Rams are in. The Lions, Bucks, Eagles, and the Niners hold the top seed in the NFC. So the Seahawks will go home and not be a part of the postseason after an up-and-down year. This season certainly had its moments, beating teams like Detroit and Philadelphia, but I think a lot of people are going to look back specifically at that 4-game losing streak this team had when there was a lot of momentum. It seemed like things were going very well for the Seahawks, and then you lose to the Rams in a game you weren't supposed to. You got throttled by the Niners twice. It just wasn't the way the Seahawks wanted. And then last week, when you still controlled your own destiny, to lose the Pittsburgh Steelers at home in a game you should have won when you were the better team, just simply unexcusable. Today, the Seahawks had a solid day from Geno Smith. 16 of 28, 189 yards, 2 touchdowns. The run game really got going in the second half. Kenneth Walker with 17 carries, 78 yards. Tyler Lockett made some big plays. He had 2 catches for 71 yards and a touchdown. This was a game where the Seahawks, they laid it out on the line. They even announced on the PA that the Seahawks were eliminated, and yet this team still played hard right to the very end. So you have to appreciate the effort and what this team did to lay it out on the line, everything they could. You had an injury to Noah Fant. He ended up leaving the game, ultimately did not return. Questions now, is this the last game he's played in a Seahawks uniform as he heads to free agency? We'll wait and see what that goes. But now the future for the Seahawks team. Is it time to move on from Pete Carroll? What about the quarterback situation with Geno Smith? We are about to have a lot of unanswered questions figured out over the next few weeks. The direction of this franchise. There's a lot of talented players in this Seahawks team. There is a promising future ahead for this franchise, but they have to make some tough decisions over these next couple of months. It won't be easy, but they can position themselves to be right back in the thick of things next year. What is your one-word reaction to the Seahawks missing the playoffs? My one word is unfortunate, because you look at the NFC, and they would have been playing the Cowboys had they made the playoffs. We saw them go toe-to-toe with Dallas a few weeks ago. They beat Philly. They beat Detroit. It's unfortunate. Who knows what could have happened had they made the playoffs? I hate it. It's unfortunate. And that's how I feel. Give me your one-word reaction in the comment section. Let us know. Folks, we had a great time on our watch party. We are very close to 47,000 subscribers. And you better believe we're not done. Far from over here on the channel. Not only are we bringing you daily Seattle Seahawks news and rumors, live shows still every Wednesday, Q&A mailbags. We're going to be live again for the College Football Playoff National Championship. Seahawks lose, sure. But I'm sure a lot of you would rather have a Washington Huskies national championship tomorrow. We'll root on the Huskies together, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, the national title game. Subscribe now. Help us get to 47,000 subscribers. Our next milestone. You'll be glad you did. Geno Smith, 16 of 28, 189 yards, 2 touchdowns. Geno played good enough to win. But here's the thing. I think in a perfect world, you look at the quarterbacks that are available in this upcoming draft, and the Seahawks cannot miss on this opportunity to go get that quarterback. A lot of attention is going to be on Michael Penix Jr. for what he does in the national championship game tomorrow night. But then you look at just across the board, the likes of from Caleb Williams to Drake May to J.J. McCarthy to Shedeur Sanders, Bo Nix. I mean, the list goes on and on. This is one of the best quarterback classes of all time. I'm fine with bringing Geno back next year, but I'm still drafting a quarterback in the first round if it were up to me and getting Geno's replacement ready to go. Geno's never been the long-term solution for this franchise. Everybody knows that. The Seahawks need to start preparing for that future now and get that next guy. Geno can be a transition quarterback. He can help train up that next guy, but it's time now to put your foot forward and go get your next quarterback to lead this franchise into the future in this team going forward. Some of these statistics for you. No turnovers. That's always great. Time of possession. Seahawks didn't really control this game. 23 minutes, 57 seconds. Balanced running attack. The streak continues all season long. Every game the Seahawks had 120 rushing yards or more, they won. Same case again. 189 through the air, 327 the total offense. Kenneth Walker got off to a really good start to this game. 17 carries, 78 yards. Solid outing from him. Zach Charbonnet was impressive. That's going to be a really good 1-2 punch, this running back combination, for years to come with Walker and Charbonnet. They need some offensive line help, though. I mean, we know about the tackles. Cross and Lucas are both very good. They got to stay healthy. But get some help in the interior of the offensive line, and you got the best backfield, I think, in the NFL for years to come. Now the blame game. We're going to talk about Pete Carroll here in just a second. Who is the most to blame for the Seahawks missing the playoffs? Is it Pete? Is it Geno? John Schneider? The defense, who was abysmal. Weigh in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Who was the most to blame for Seattle missing the postseason? Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time, the place to go for tickets to sporting events, concerts, theater productions, comedy shows, and more. The best seats for the lowest prices guaranteed. Here's how it works. You pick out the event you want to go to. They got the prices listed. Then from there, you pick out the seat you want. You might stumble upon a flash deal potentially. And then from there, you're checking out, getting your tickets. Apple Pay, Google Pay. Very simple to use. You get your tickets in just a matter of moments with Game Time. Promo code Seahawks Chat to save $20 off your next purchase. That's Game Time. Terms and conditions do apply. Proud partner of Seahawks Today. Promo code Seahawks Chat. Download today. You'll be glad you did. All right. The Cardinals offense had 466 yards. And this is where we talk about Pete Carroll now, okay? That defense, with all they invested, drafting Devin Witherspoon, bringing in Leonard Williams, bringing back Bobby Wagner, bringing in Jaron Reed, all those different things, the money they paid Draymond Jones. That's what you have to show for it. That's it. That's on Pete Carroll. That's on Clint Hurt. And the Seahawks, with a team that was better on paper than last year's team, has the same result. It's time for changes. Whether it's Pete Carroll, whether it's coaching staff, I can't sit here and be content. What's happened with Pete Carroll is he's turned into Jeff Fisher. And I'll credit Smitty for that. He came up with that one. But do you want to keep a Jeff Fisher type around, or do you want to hit the reset button and start over? You look at the Houston Texans with what they did this past year with DeMeco Ryans. 10-win football team. Rookie quarterback. Seattle, it's time to reset. It is time to start over and get this thing going the right direction. Because what we're seeing right now, I have no reason to think that things are going to be any different with Pete Carroll or Clint Hurt and this coaching staff. If you run it back again next year, you're going to be disappointed. So, is it the end of the era? Is it time to move on from Pete? Why for yes, and for no. I think there's a respectable way to do this. He doesn't necessarily have to be fired, but maybe he could move into a different role within the organization. Maybe he retires, whatever it may be. But this Seattle Seahawks team would be better off without Pete Carroll. No question about it. Pete, he's a Hall of Famer. He's done a lot of great things. But the biggest lesson learned from the 2023 through 2024 season, the game passed Pete Carroll by, and he never caught up. Folks, thanks for joining us all season long here on Seahawks Today. You guys made this an incredible year. I am so privileged to get to host this show every day, to be your leader that you call upon. It is my honor and my privilege. And these last two seasons have been great, and I can't wait for next year either. Stick around with us all offseason long. We're going to cover this team like nobody else is. Join us tomorrow night. Washington, Michigan National Championship. We'll see you then. Subscribe now. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.